Hey good people, welcome to a pre-haircut post-holiday edition of Neil at the Whiteboard. And today I would like to pay tribute to Mies van der Rohe. And if you don't know who Mies is, Mies was a very famous architect. I believe he's known as like the grandfather of skyscrapers. He did a lot of famous skyscrapers, but one of the very famous buildings that he did was the Farnsworth House. And the Farnsworth House is just a couple miles from here. I live a couple miles from the Farnsworth House, and I pass that all the time. And the other day, I was passing the Farnsworth House when I thought of one of the sayings that Mies is known for. And if you've ever heard this one, less is more, that's a Mies saying. Mies van der Rohe came up with, he's credited with, let's say that. The internet lies, right? But I heard that long before the internet. I knew about that saying from Mies, so maybe that is true. Anyway, he's known for less is more. And if you've ever seen one of his buildings, they're pretty stark. It's like a box. The Farnsworth House is literally like a shoebox made out of glass. And people from all over the world travel here to the middle of nowhere where I live, about 60 miles west of Chicago, to see the Farnsworth House. Look it up. Kenny Chesney filmed a video there. Fun fact. Anyway, so, what does this have to do with Ontraport, Neil? Well, it has to do with this mass of ugliness. So right here is something I see a lot inside of Ontraport. And I actually thought about a different title for today. I thought of another title that I could have named this video, and I'll just throw it up here. Whoop, if I can get my marker to work. Which is, if I can spell, did I spell that right? Campaigns. Campaigns. So if you look in the nav bar of your Ontraport account and you hit contacts and you see, or if you don't have contacts, you see campaigns up there. Wherever you see campaigns in your account, you will notice it is campaigns plural. Some of you think that it is campaign singular. Like you have to run your entire business out of one campaign in Ontraport. Hence, this bit of ugliness. And that is not true. That is the exact opposite of how we do things here at Email Splat. This never happens. And let me show you why. Why do I hate these? I hate these for a bunch of reasons. So reason number one, let's just be honest. This thing is complicated. Even when I jump into an account and somebody has done one of these, it takes me a while to figure out what is supposed to be happening here. Where are people in this campaign? Why do we have all these crazy go-tos going everywhere in here? What's with the 15 different sets of goals? You know, it takes a while. So if you built it and you understand it, great. But if anybody else comes along, there's a steep learning curve to figure out what is going on with this campaign. Secondly, this is just an accident waiting to happen, right? So if I've got almost my entire business on one campaign and I've got all my customers in this campaign, if I make one mistake in this campaign, it's a mess, right? You know, it's just asking for something to go wrong. There's way too many things to check in here and to see if this is, and to troubleshoot and understand if something's going wrong in your account. Just too much going on here. Another reason, selfishly for me, I have to train people how to use Ontraport after I've set up their account, you know, after we've set up their account. So if I have to explain this to someone, they can't wrap their head around it. They're never going to understand this. This is way too much to be able to follow. Another reason I hate these kind of campaigns is that if somebody gets out of sync, and we all know they always get out of sync, they're going to do something that you never expected, right? Your customers, your contacts, somehow they're going to do something where they get out of sync with this thing. Good luck getting them back where they belong when everything is in one campaign. Another thing, and one of the biggest reasons I hate these is, I have so many reasons I hate these. One of the biggest reasons I hate a setup like this is you lose all your flexibility. And that kind of goes with the people out of sync. Many times, I don't know if this is true in your business, but in a lot of the customers I work with in their business, they have an exception to the exception to the exception of the rule, right? So somebody comes through and we say, well, we want to do it this way, except for like Bill. Bill's different. We don't want Bill to do this. We want Bill to do that. Or I want to, on this one particular deal, I want to be able to do this instead. When everything is running in one campaign, you lose your flexibility. It's a lot harder to, again, manually move people around and do something different with them. If I want to manually move something in this thing, I can, but it's a pain in the butt, and there's much easier ways to achieve that. And the way we achieve that is, again, campaigns, right? So, as Mies would say, less is more. So in one campaign, I want to see way less, way, way less. Like for me, if I look at this thing, this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6 campaigns. If I were to split this up the way we would do it, we're literally working on a project right now that has 44 campaigns for one customer, 44 campaigns that are going to sell 7 products. 7 products, 44 campaigns. You know, of course, there's marketing, there's onboarding, there's failed credit card, there's reporting. There's a lot of different things going on, but we've broken up. You know, we could do it this way, but this is harder. Let's be honest. Now I have to be very careful about my triggers. I have to be very careful about my goals. Who do I want to move to a trigger or a goal? Who do I want to add here again? Do I end up with like the person on this map 6 times? When if I just broke it up into individual little campaigns, I could easily see where somebody was on that campaign. They'd only be on there once. That's another goal of mine is I try to never build anything where I plan for someone to be on the campaign more than one time. Because again, you're just asking for trouble, right? You're setting yourself up for failure by making this way more complicated than it needs to be. So less is more. Break this thing up into multiple pieces. So how do I do that? What does that look like? Well, for me, again, I would have one string of things happening and then a goal, probably. So another one of Mies's sayings was, I'm going to screw this up. Form follows function. Is that correct? I believe that's his other saying that he's well known for. Form follows function. And to me, each campaign should have one function, only one function per campaign. It just does one thing, and once they're done with that one thing, they're out and they're on to the next campaign. So for me, if we had something like this for a campaign, they came in here, once they hit one of these goals, they'd probably be out. Maybe a step or 2 after that, but this goal would become my trigger for the next campaign. So if they come down here and they trigger this goal, they're going to move on to the next campaign. And we kind of daisy chain them together that way. And that, if I combine that with if I combine that where I have my, here I'm being indecisive. If I combine that where I have my goal is bringing them in, but I have my manual goal, and this is the wrong color. If I have my manual goal, I can just do a go to and put them right there, right? So I bring them in, you know, they come down here, they achieve this goal, that triggers them into the next campaign. And by adding the manual here, then I can manually add someone right here into this next section of my master campaign, right? My master plan. So that's where I get my flexibility, because I can manually add people to any step in here. And I don't have to think about it. I don't have to pre-plan it. I don't have to work up, you know, tags or check boxes or something that's going to magically pull them in at some point in the middle of this campaign. All I have to do is manually add them to a campaign and boom, they're right there. They're in. And so we basically daisy chain a lot of these campaigns together, give them bite-sized pieces, give each campaign one job. And to me, that just makes my life so much easier. To be honest, when Campaign Builder came out and I started using these, I did this. I thought it was so cool. Look, I'm going to put all this stuff on one map, until I tried to train somebody. And until somebody said, hey, what happens if they're here and I want to move them over here? You know, if I don't want them to get these emails now, oh geez, you know, now we're rebuilding. And so I quickly learned this is, yeah, I don't like this. Selfishly, I do not like this. So we break things up. Many little campaigns, less is more. Campaigns. So that's all I got for you today. A little strategy on campaign building inside of Ontraport. Hope that helps. Let me know, you know, I'd love to see, tell me what is the most number of elements you've ever had inside of one campaign. And then I'll tell you, I'll look up and see what kind of our average is. It's not many, I'll tell you that. It's not 100 and something. It's probably not even 50. So what's the most number of elements you've ever put into one campaign? All right, have fun. See you guys later.